blocks, and then the man turned, just like Pop said he would. He discarded the cigarette on the ground, looked at his watch, then tossed a panicked look over his shoulder, like he could sense someone was behind him. I slowed my pace and let two women carrying packages from gimbals get in front of me. One of them wore an enormous veiled hat that did a bang-up job of masking me from view. Apparently satisfied that he was alone, the man continued walking until he was in front of a brownstone marked number 19. This was the shot the client wanted. Capture the mark entering the building, showing his face and the address. He hesitated as though he were debating whether to approach the building. "Come on," I silently begged. "Get it over and done with before Pop panics and comes looking for me." I pulled the camera from my bag and scanned the street for the perfect place to take the picture. 6 feet in front of me was a shrub with the last of the fall leaves clinging to its branches. I slowed my pace. "Little girl," said someone behind me. A finger tapped me on the shoulder. "Little girl?" I tried not to cringe at the little part. After all, I was in my Chapin school uniform, and with the plaid skirt, knee socks, and the 2 braids I'd woven my hair into, whoever it was had to assume I was younger than 15. I turned to find an old woman, bent with age, looking at me. "Your shoe is untied," she said. "Oh, thank you." I looked back toward number 19. The man was no longer there. Nuts. Had I missed him entering? "You'd better tie it," she said. "You don't want to risk a fall." "I will," I said, "but right now I'm kind of in a hurry." I tried to walk away, but she put a hand on my arm and held me in place. She had milky gray eyes and an imposing stare that I was willing to bet had served her well during her long career as a prison warden. "That's the problem with you kids today. Always in a hurry. When I was a girl..." Boy, howdy, was she really going to lecture me? "You're right," I said. "I'll tie it right now." I returned the camera to my bag, squatted, and wrapped the laces of my saddle shoe into a hasty bow. My skirt was too tight and threatened to bust a button as I crouched. I hadn't worn the uniform in months, not since I'd traded a private school for a public one. "Thanks again," I told her. She narrowed her eyes, but finally seemed satisfied and continued on her way. I grabbed my bag and attempted to stand back up when a large form cast a shadow over me. It was the man in the black trench coat. He clamped a hand on my wrist and helped me the rest of the way up. "Why are you following me?" he hissed. "Excuse me?" I asked. My eyes darted to the left, seeking out the old woman who'd been there moments before. She was apparently faster than Pop because she'd already managed to move out of my line of sight. In fact, the entire sidewalk seemed to have cleared out, leaving me alone with this man with the very strong grip. "You've been tailing me since 56th Street. I widened my eyes, hoping that my fear didn't show. Where was Pop? Had 15 minutes passed yet? No, I stuttered. "I'm just looking for my dog." I reached into my bag and fumbled past the camera until I landed on the object I wanted. Without my eyes ever leaving the man's, I pulled out a leash I'd bought that morning at the 5 and Dime. "Dog?" he echoed. "His name's Skippy." Try as I might, I couldn't make my voice steady. Fear had hold of me and wouldn't let go. "We were on our way to Central Park when he got loose. I chased him down 56th Street and thought I saw him turn up this way." My eyes blazed with tears. I pushed them away with my free hand. The man must have thought the emotion was because of my missing dog, not my fear of what he was going to do to me, because he let go and fished a handkerchief from his pocket. Thanks," I said. "I'm sorry, little girl. I didn't mean to startle you." "It's okay." I mopped my eyes and willed my panicked breathing to slow down. The crowd that had seemed to disperse moments before returned, and I took comfort in knowing that at least we weren't alone. If I screamed for help, surely someone would assist me. I offered him the handkerchief.